Good morning, friends. This is the Prepared Suburbanite. While I was eating my breakfast this morning and clicked on the news to see what was going on, I learned that Diane Feinstein, the senator from California, age 90, passed away. And all I can really say about that is buckle your seatbelts, make sure your tray tables and your seat back is in its uprightmost position, and hold on to what can possibly happen now. Stick around. Well, we finally got some typical autumn type weather down here in North Carolina. As you can see behind me there, the dogwood trees and some of their neighbors are starting to turn color a little bit, and I find that somewhat encouraging because fall is my favorite time of the year. It's just the temperatures are much more comfortable, the humidity is much better, and we get a couple 3 weeks of beautiful fall weather and beautiful foliage down here. So I'm really enjoying this respite from the heat and humidity of July and August. So here we are at the end of September, looking forward to October 1st. But let's get back to the subject at hand here. Diane Feinstein, I think, is the longest serving female senator in history. And she's from San Francisco, California area, and has been around for a long time. Not a friend of conservatives, or conservatives are not a friend of hers, but that's all done now. She's passed away. And what can possibly happen, and I've heard a few of these theories pop up over the last few weeks or so, kind of in the anticipation of her passing, that there's, what are you going to do now? So you got only one senator now from California, and you need two. So Gavin Newsom, the governor, does, I believe, have the authority to appoint a successor to fill out her current term, and I'm not sure what that is, if it ends this cycle or the next cycle or the cycle after that, but he can appoint someone to sit in her seat until the next election. I believe as an alternative, he could call for a special election to make a choice on that, but knowing him, I think he'll do the appointment thing. So what choices does he have? Well, I think we all realize that Gavin Newsom is standing just a little off stage right now, waiting for Joe Biden to do something and make a decision about Biden's 2024 presidential aspirations. Yeah, he's said he's going to run. He's running. He's the official, one of the official candidates for the Democrat Party nod for the president, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Marianne Williamson being the other potential challengers out there, but I don't see either one of them having a chance. So it does look like Joe Biden will be sitting as the nominee for the Democrat Party for the 2024 presidential election. What's that mean for Gavin Newsom? Well, there's a couple of things that can happen, and I've heard this opined by a couple of different folks already. I think Ted Cruz being one of them. But this is pretty scary. Gavin Newsom could tap Kamala Harris on the shoulder and say, hey, I want you to be our senator from California to fill in the seat that Diane Feinstein just vacated by virtue of her passing, and I'd really like you to consider doing that. Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee, just supposing. And I think your political future and your political career would be enhanced by a term as senator from California. And let's just say she considers it and says, yep, makes sense to me. I'm not going to be the president. I'm not going to be the continuing vice president under Biden administration. So I'll be the senator. And that'll look good on my resume when I run for president at some point in the future. So now you've got a vacancy as vice president. And what does Joe Biden do with a vacancy for vice president? Well, he's going to pick Gavin Newsom. Well, just a thought. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's wrong, but it's a thought. So he picks Gavin Newsom to be his vice presidential running mate for the 2024 Democrat Party nominee. And all the votes get cast. Primary season's over. Joe Biden has the endorsement and the votes necessary. And he says, I'm not going to be able to accept this. I'm going to step aside and I'm going to ask Gavin Newsom to be the next presidential candidate. And he could throw his votes to Gavin's camp, and there you go. Without anybody casting a vote for Gavin Newsom, he could be the Democrat Party nominee for president in 2024. And that obviously would put him up against Donald Trump. And after watching the second GOP debate just the other night, I am just taken aback by such an awful slate of candidates. The only one, in my estimation, that showed any kind of professionalism and decorum was Ron DeSantis. And I think he did a great job with that stupid question at the end where it's like, who are you going to write off the island? And he said, don't goof around with us. We're all professionals here, and we're not going to stoop so low to do that. And of course, Chris Christie jumped right in and said Trump would be it. But that was a waste of 2 hours of my time to watch that thing, watching the infighting, watching the bickering, the finger pointing, the undermining, just absolutely awful. So if that's the best that the GOP has got to offer, we're in trouble. And I guess that leaves Donald Trump with his hefty lead in the Republican race to be the guy. So we've got some crazy things that can really start happening here pretty soon. Keep your eye on what Gavin Newsom's going to do. Keep your eye on that open Senate seat in California. Now that Diane Feinstein has passed away, buckle your seatbelts, folks. It's going to get very interesting. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.